All right, so I prepared an intro for myself, but Dan already did that, so my presentation will be a little shorter. Okay, so I'm gonna do a track breakdown of my song Karma that I released the end of last year. I'll just start off by playing the track. So, there we go. Well, I'm about to do a track breakdown, so I can show you. I'm about to open up the project. When Dan first asked me to do a track breakdown for this, my immediate thought was like, oh shit, I have to go into the project. I have to like clean everything up, organize everything, label everything so that it makes sense, delete all the unused tracks, the people can't see what, the raw actual project. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not. I'm not going to pretend to be this like super organized, like methodical person. So I was like, I'll just show them the actual project, how it is. And, maybe people will actually relate to that, and so here it is. I feel a little vulnerable. No, I don't actually feel vulnerable, but, it's messy. Here it is. Oh, and actually on that point, I always used to think I was like the only one who was like this, I don't know, just this like all over the place and indecisive and all that, until I started hanging out with other producers and they were all also like doing the same things that I thought I was like weird for doing. So, I think like it made me realize like, you know what? We can share this stuff. So let's see. This is how how much, like, if I just prepared one project that was like super organized and like showed everyone this, like, and this is how it was made start to finish, like how much that would be a lie, because this is, where is it? This is just the final mix folder, right? But if we go back here, there are so many project folders. And within each project folder, this right here, I thought, like, I am the only one who's doing, like, karma, final, karma, actual final, karma, actual final, _2, you know, like, final V6, like, are you kidding me? And yeah, it was like, that's why I feel like it's so important to have like a producer community and have producer friends, because I realized that like everyone does this basically, or like a lot of people do this. So I was like, you know, I'm not alone. So I just wanted to show that to get to that final product, like there was just so many different iterations and it wasn't like a straightforward, simple process.
Can I ask, when you cut the first final, why did you go and do final underscore V2? Like, I mean, what was the, not specifically what was the motivation of that, but more general, right? I mean, so you got a final and then you change it. What's in your mind?
Well, a lot of times it'll be like, because I mix my own tracks as well, and I'm mixing, like, I'm producing and mixing all in the same project. So, like, I'll have the final, and then I bounce it. I go listen to it in, like, car speakers or whatever, and I'm like, need to, you know, the bass is way too loud or whatever. So then I, like, final next version, you know, or I'll like be like, this is the final, I'll send it to my team for feedback, and then they'll have a suggestion, you should do something here. So then I'm like, okay, here's another, but I don't want to like, I just want to keep them separated, you know what I mean? Like I'd like, that's another thing is like, I'm indecisive. So I'm like, if I'm going to change something, I don't want it to be permanent. I want to like have still a version. And I know like you know, you have like your backup folder and all that stuff, but it's just sometimes a little, oh my God. I'm even going back into my backup folder and like, you know, highlighting the ones that, was this the one? Was this the right one? That before I didn't like make a new iteration. Anyways, so.
There's got to be a point though where you're just like, okay.
Well, yeah, eventually, you know, you have to release the song. Yeah, exactly. What?
You can do VIPs to your heart's content at that.
Well, I don't know if I should be encouraging this behavior, but if you release a song on DSPs, right? Like you release it, you submit your master file to DSPs, and you usually have to do it like a month before release. And I didn't know this, but apparently you can swap out the master file anytime. Like, even after the song's been released. So you can fully release a song, and like, if you like change the mix a little bit, like you can't like change the whole song, obviously, like, but if you like, you know, get it remastered, or even like change the mix a little bit, like you can just swap out the master and for like your new master, and as long as the track is the same length, it just replaces it on all DSPs. So like, I've one time done this, and I will never do it again. One time I submitted a demo, okay, the demo file as like the final master, because we had the release date set, and like we had to submit something to the DSPs. So I submitted like just like, it was like an unmixed like demo of the song. And I was like, as long as we can replace the master file before the release date, like no one's gonna know. But that didn't happen. I did not get the final mix and master done in time. So like the full-on demo version of the track that was like unmixed, like was released, and like everyone heard, not everyone, but like, you know, everyone who like is paying attention to me, like, you know, like it popped up on everyone's release radars who's following me, and they like listened to it, and like it wasn't until maybe like a full week after the song had already been out that like I actually just sneakily, yeah, updated the track. And like it wasn't like a minor, it wasn't like, oh, we like remastered it a little bit. Like it was yeah, there was a very noticeable difference. Anyways, yeah, don't recommend it, but that's why, you know, you have to commit at some point, because otherwise your demo will be released. So. Anyways, yeah, so I'll open up the project. It's a pretty big project. As you're about to see, I take full advantage of the new Mac, the M series CPU capabilities. Yeah. I have mad respect for producers who like produced in, you know, in the 90s and early 2000s when computers had the computing power of a calculator, you know. All right, so here it is. Here's the full unfiltered chaos. So usually up here I'll have my reference tracks. I like to start off with reference tracks even before. I know, like, by the time you get to like the mixing stage, you'll usually have a reference track that you A/B against. But I like to start off with reference tracks like from the very beginning, just because I think for me, and maybe also probably for a lot of like electronic producers, like you're mixing as you go, right? Like they're not really two like distinct steps. So from the very beginning, I like to just make sure, you know, just have a reference points for my levels and all that. I usually have a couple of sidechain. I always have these. They're in my like project template. Anytime I open up a new project, I always have a sidechain track. Oh yeah, you mean Is that? Here, I can also close this. Is that? Can everyone see that? Is that better? I'll also like I can like, you know, expand all these and stuff. But anyways, reference track up here. Then I'll have my sidechain track. So I'll just usually just have some kicks, because I like to sidechain a lot. Pretty much everything to the kick. All right. So first in the intro, we got these drums, little baila groove. Here's my drum rack. I don't understand people who use Ableton and don't use drum racks, by the way. Just you said what?
People don't use drum racks.
Yeah.
What?
They just drag directly into the arrangement window. Like they'll just like take
Put like a kick, kick, and then they'll put the snare.
yeah, like they'll just like
Weird.
yeah, I know. And I'm like, this is one of the most like my favorite features of Ableton, and what made me convert from, I started off in the very beginning on Logic, and like this is what, you know, did it for me. Because like say you have I love all of my drums being MIDI because like say I make a whole track, right? And then like at the very end I realize I actually don't like the snare. I want to change it. I don't have to go and manually replace every single snare. You know, I can just change I wish I had a laser pointer. You know? Oh, I have an actual pointer. I can just like change this snare here and like you know, like all the edits and I mean I'm sure you guys all this is like if you guys are all producers, you all already know all this stuff. But
And also you can do like selector kicks, can't you? So you put like a bunch of kicks in there.
yeah, exactly, and like audition them. Exactly.
Infinite drum rack.
Yeah.
Infinite drum.
I have a lot of those. Yeah.
Put LFO on it, make it go all crazy.
Yeah. And you get your own like sends and stuff. So we got that, and then we got I'll just play it through. Some hi-hats here. And then let's see, we'll get to the vocals last, but we have yeah, those are the vocal tracks, by the way. Yes. Oh yeah. Here's the group of melodic stuff. We got this Reese bass and layered with a little bit of cello for some high end on the high end. And then in this build, you know, build section before the drop, we start teasing the main like synth sounds that are gonna come in, which are somewhere. Yeah, that's another thing is I made this track a year ago, so let's see.
Do you remember what the inspiration was, like where it started from, where the seed was for the song?
Yes, actually. Do you ask that because you might have an idea of? Oh no, okay. Well, the reference tracks that I usually have up here are the inspo, but for this one, it was definitely. I'll play it. It's called "Hush" by Born. If you don't already know it. You'll definitely hear like, oh, that makes sense that this is the one that inspired the track.
Creo que estoy haciendo
So yeah, it was really that vocal, that like kind of whispery vocal that I was like, ooh, I love that. I can do that. I can whisper, you know.
Did you use your own voice for this?
What's that? Yeah, all the vocals are mine. Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, so all right, in the build, we're gonna start teasing in the synth fills that we've got going on. Let's see. Ooh, thank you. My hot bean water, thank you. Oh yeah, okay, yes, it's called Clonk. There it is. All right. Okay, Clonk will come back, so we're introducing it here. There's Clonk. Here's tube Clonk. And there's metallic Clonk. Okay, so yeah, we can talk about the Clonks. So it started with I liked this this one sound, and I think for me a good way to have to play with sound design, so you have consistency within your track, right? It's not like there's cohesiveness, there's all the sounds like work together, but you don't want to just use like the same sound over and over again. So like I started off with this, and then throughout the song I have various different versions of Clonk coming in. So this is one of them. And then I took that same sound and then I just added this. If you don't know about this Ableton device or effect or whatever it is, this is my new favorite obsession. So we took that sound that I just played and I like put this loop hollow thing on it, and now it sounds like this. And it sounds, to me it sounded like a tube. So I named it Tube Clonk. But yeah, what's cool about this is basically you can take any sound, and they have like plate, pipe, tube, beam, whatever, different materials, and then it will take that sound and kind of change the timbre of it to sound more like whatever natural organic material you select. So I wanted like a kind of more like tube. By tube, like when you hit, I don't know, when you hit like a tube against a table or something. That's what I wanted. That's the sound that I wanted, so I did that. And then I wanted a more like metallic-y sounding, like percussive version of that sound. So again, moved it here, and then this one, Beam. Beam is the one that will take any sound, any like percussive sound you have, you put this on there, and then it will make it sound like metallic sounding. So here it is. So you can hear how this, which is like a pretty basic like FM squeak sound. And then with, just going into the sound design rabbit hole, now it sounds like a metallic percussive thing. So then we have like all these different variations, we have like variants, and it doesn't get old and repetitive, but it's still cohesive because it's all the same, came all from the same source material. All right, so yes, that's what that's the name I was looking for.
And then the 2 channels, is that like just tuning or something like?
No, these are I've just layered. Here's the top layer, and then here's the bottom. I wanted that like dissonance, So these two, a lot of these are layered. Yeah, it's like the whole like idea with FM synthesis, right? Is that like you have kind of two notes going at the same time. So I wanted to recreate that effect basically. You have like your bass frequency and then your carrier frequency, so you're kind of hearing like you're playing one note, but you're hearing like a 5th up or a 7th up or whatever. So I just did that manually basically. And then, all right, moving on. Okay, so I guess we can talk about the vocals. This main vocal chop here. Okay, so originally, without any effects or anything, so that's just me whispering clearly. And I'm saying in Japanese. So the reason why this song is called Karma is because this is what I'm saying in the vocals. So the choir in the very beginning where you saw all those layers, I'm saying inga oho, which is like a Japanese Buddhist word for karma. And then in the hook, you can tell that I'm whispering something. I don't know if you could, like, I don't know what it sounds like to people who probably don't understand Japanese. If it just sounds like, what does it sound like actually?
It just sounds cool. I don't understand it, but it just sounds
Yeah,
cool.
it's a texture. I mean,
Yeah,
you
it's-
definitely get the rhythmic element. It becomes more of a kind of
Yeah.
accent on top of the drum line.
Yeah.
Processing it more in that way, but actually, I was curious if you are a native Japanese speaker.
Yeah.
You're gonna hear all of that, I guess, right? There's still enough. You didn't chop out the vocal to the point where you can't get the meaning of that.
Well, can you guys tell that it's like words that I'm like speaking? Like,
It
or,
definitely sounds like, yeah. I mean,
Yeah? it sounds like these are words in another language? Okay, cool.
Samurai scat.
Well said.
Nice. It's it would be more of a monk, Buddhist monk scat, but yeah, we're close. So I'm saying 自業自得逃げられぬ走ってもついてくる, which means it's just like, I don't know, it's just some, I was like gonna call the song Karma, so let's just say some stuff about karma. These are all Buddhist, Japanese Buddhist like phrases. That's another thing. I like to have like some kind of just lyrics, if I'm gonna like sample vocals or whatever, you know, like make it a little meaningful, you know, even if it's just literally like.
That's all good. All of that's good.
Yeah, we can all agree with this message, right? Anyways, yeah, so it started off with just like, you know, whispering like that, but obviously that would not sound that cool, so let's see, all the processing I did on it. Ooh, thermal. Thermal's a good plugin. It's like Isotope Trash, but it's basically Output's version of Isotope Trash. I like to use it. I used to work at Output as a developer, actually. Yeah. So someone in here was a developer, right? I know you are. Software engineer? Yeah? Okay, nice. So that was my day job before I started doing this.
The vocal chop itself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you didn't do that manually, I would assume.
Oh, you're asking about like why it's all cut up and stuff?
Not so much why, how. I mean, I totally understand why, but like, yeah, did you do all that manually? Did you actually go in and,
Oh yeah.
you did? Okay.
Yeah. I just I like doing everything about my vocals manually. Like again, this, I don't know if I shouldn't be, I don't like recommend this behavior, but like I manually DS my vocals unless it's like really like a lot, then I'll throw on a de-esser. But, or if it's just like not that important. But if I just have like really, really clean vocals that are like really present in the track and it's just like one, then I'll go in and I'll manually de-ess. Like I'll manually take where the S's are. You can usually see them in the waveform, like here, that's an S. I can already tell, right? That's probably like a T or something. So then I'll just take that and then I'll like manually like do that. That's why they're also all cut up. I'll also like if there's any timing issues, like I'm manually like I know a lot of people use like Vocaline, but I like to just manually like because you can just see the waveform, manually align my vocals. It's just a way to have like the most control,
It sounds great.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So yeah, started off with that. Threw on, again, this is a plugin I recommend. Just has a lot of like really great presets. And then the main kind of like staccato-y effect that you're hearing from it, which is like, this is my new favorite trick, is to use this tremolo. And you can just like adjust the amount and the rate and the shape and obviously like you get this cool, you get some width and you also get, because it's like ducking. If I made it like the shape all the way and the amount all the way, then it would be like really like staccato. So just like play around with it a little bit, and then if the more you mess around with the phase, like the more like wider it gets, right? The more stereo it gets. So it's a vocal, so I didn't want to like stereoize it too much. But it definitely like adding this tremolo, I throw this on a lot of stuff now, and it's just such a basic, like useful, it's so basic, but like, and these are my favorite things, right? And I feel like that's why we like all love Ableton so much, is because they just have these little tools and devices that are just, they're so simple. Like there's 4 knobs on here, 5 knobs, but there's just so much you can do with it. Let's see, we got, and then everything else is just basic, like reverbs and whatnot.
Are you sticking to certain warp modes for those clips? Like, it's kind of be the default, or you complex?
For this one, I didn't have to warp because I just like recorded it. But I usually use the complex warp mode, yeah. But speaking of warp modes, cool tip, if you ever want to record, like if you ever want to repitch your vocals, so if you want like that super pitched down or super pitched up like vocal effect in your songs, like usually you have to pitch it up and then like warp it, or you have to use like Alter Boy or whatever, right, to like pitch it. But that almost always like will either introduce like artifacts, it doesn't sound as clean, or with Alter Boy you get a lot of phasing issues. And you'll notice if you ever like check in mono, like Alter Boy, be careful with using Alter Boy when you pitch stuff. It's just crazy phasing. So if you ever want to do that, you can just, you know what? This will be too long, so I'll save this one for later. So I'll be here if you want to know. You can ask me later. It's just like it's so specific, and it's like definitely not a part of this track breakdown that I'm supposed to be doing. So, yeah, we'll move on.
I would say maybe like 5 or 6 minutes.
Okay, you know what? Actually, yeah. In that case, honestly, there's really not much more. I mean, these are the millions of tracks that you hear in the choir. Here. Yeah.
Were you singing each of those?
Yeah, individually. I mean, might have some. To make it sound like a choir, obviously, like you want to manipulate a little bit, like sing it differently, but also I do have some formants shifting with Alter Boy, which I just told you to be careful using. But I do have, yes, like formants shifted a few of them, and like, you know, to make it sound more like a choir. But also like it's just like a background. It's so in the background that it doesn't. I started doing that, and I was like, actually, it's not that deep. So we got like 5 more minutes. So at this point, I'll just, if anyone has any more questions.
I got here late.
Hey, Chuck.
Missed the track. Hey. Can I hear it?
Yeah, well, we can play it again. Let me play the mastered version.
Did you master this as well?
I did not master it. The one thing that I don't do is master my own songs, because there has to be a point where like someone else, you know, it's like a sanity check. Yeah. Because I'm also doing my own vocals. It's just like I can't. Someone needs to be the final.
Too close to it.
Yeah. La, 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 la. Here we go. Let me know if it's too loud. Wait, I have it all the way up. Ooh, you know what? Actually, sorry. I have visuals for it, so I'll play it with the visuals. Yeah! That's so much more fun. There we go. All right. Guys, I made these on CapCut on my iPhone. These visuals.
So how, you were, most of the stuff I saw is all Ableton-native. How much
Yeah.
do you pretty much stick to Ableton-native stuff? I used to use a little bit, but percentage-wise.
For effects, pretty much all Ableton. Almost exclusively Ableton native. Yeah, the only third-party plugins I really consistently use, Serum, Contact, and that's it. Yeah, for like source sounds, and then effects, pretty much all Ableton native.
Is that what you use for the main bass sound, like in the drop? Is that like?
No, that's Serum. Yeah, the 808. Which if you weren't here in the beginning, the reason why my project looks so chaotic and unorganized, and I'm like, where is it? Is because this was on purpose. I didn't want to make like a cleaned up version of my project to like, to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys like the real raw project, so that like you don't like. Because I've done that. I've showed people very cleaned up versions when I've done presentations before. And people are like, dang, I feel like so unorganized compared to you. Like, man, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I was like, that was a lie. Like, like.
Honey, thank you, because when like Chuck's set comes up, when you first start up Ableton and it's all perfect and clean.
Oh, no, he's not lying. I think that's actually him. Yeah. Yeah.
I get there.
Yeah.
I totally get it.
He's not faking his foot. I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So, anyways,
Messy project files for sure.
yeah. So the 808 filter off 808 final. Yeah. So it's Serum. Yeah. But like, see, like effects, EQ, overdrive, like almost all the effects are just Ableton stuff. Cause like, why would you? There's just so much. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll use Valhalla because it's free. I use Output stuff too because I used to work there, so I have all of it. But yeah. Any more questions? Yes.
Video. Did you make all of that on CapCut, the video?
All the text that popped up, yeah. On my phone on CapCut, I using like templates.
Did you edit the video as well?
Yeah.
Wow. What about the visual graphics at the end?
So those were like stock videos.
On CapCut?
Not on CapCut. Like online, I just like Googled like free VJ loops.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, the track is really good and the visuals are really impressive. I really like that.
Oh, thank you.
But
Thank you.
it's even more impressive you made on CapCut.
I know, no, not me. CapCut, like CapCut is the templates on there are crazy. Yeah, guys, keep this on the down low, okay? Gatekeep.
Yeah, I have another question. So you were saying you used to work at Output and have all those effects. When you're scrolling through audio effects presets, what kind of presets are you drawn to?
Like,
When you're like scrolling through, like maybe you're using like a thermal or like a portal or something.
Yeah.
Even if you're, because I know we do a lot of our like sound design from scratch and stuff, but like when you're coming across like audio effects presets to throw on your stuff, are there certain types you're drawn to, like whether they're like have a certain texture to it or a certain like emotion to it?
On Portal, I like they have a like just the most beautiful time-based, like time-based effects, right? Like reverb, delay, echo plus. It's just like, and then on Thermal, yeah, just to take anything like kind of and make it really ambient and just time stretch it, stereoize it. On Thermal, I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I mean, I just click through, and if it sounds good, I guess. But obviously, like I'll usually start off with like a preset, and then I'll almost always end up like tweaking it and messing with it to the point where I then save it as my own. And so I have ones that I figured out like work well with my vocals specifically, or my Serum presets. It's exactly 6.
Maybe
Yeah.
How much of your process is kind of go with the flow versus I have, like, these are my tips and these are my tricks or my checkbox that I kind of do on whatever?
Yeah, okay, actually, I'm glad you asked that. One second, I'm gonna drink water. Okay, so I know when you're like starting to learn how to produce, one thing that everyone always says is save all your drum racks, save all your presets, save all your project templates, whatever, so that like you can go faster and faster, right? And like you have like you develop your arsenal of like your own custom sounds. And I definitely do that, right? And because if you're in the studio, if you're in a session and you're like, you know, working with other artists and you have to like cook stuff up really quickly on the fly, like you obviously want to be able to just have like drum racks ready to go, like effects chains like ready to go. But I personally love to, if I have time, and I'm not hitting a deadline, I'm not in a studio working with other people, I'm just at home and I'm like, can do whatever I want and I have like just time to like explore and make a song, which is my favorite way of producing. I like to start off totally empty project and make everything from scratch, not use any of like my customs, because then I'm like basically making like a new drum rack from scratch. I go out and I find new samples. I'm not even like going into my sample, like my folder of samples, you know? So I like to do that personally, and it's literally goes against everything you're taught as a producer, is to like save, like reuse the same things over and over. But I think I find a lot of inspiration from doing the exact opposite of that. So, yeah. So I think that's it, but I did want to shout out to Mary, who's sitting right there, because she is the person who I showed the first demo of this track to, and it didn't have that vocal on it with my first demo, and I showed it to her, and she was like, yeah, I like it, but I feel like there's something missing. You need like a vocal chop or like some kind of like, vocal, like some vocal chop in the hook. And if that's there, then I feel like it's, you know, that's the missing ingredient. And so I went home and I did it, and that's literally what made the track, like that's definitely what makes this track stand out, what people like about it the most. So yeah, shout out to Mary. She is a dope producer, by the way. St. Mary, check her out. She just toured with San Holo. So, yeah.
And this happened at Ableton?
This happened here at this weird coincidence. But yeah, last time I was here for the Move launch party. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, thanks guys.